Hello there, it's Alto Johnny64, it's good to be back. So, can you imagine if a game combined elements of Street Fighter and Pokemon together? What it would be like? Well, I would imagine it'd be like a game called Flying Dragon, which is what I'm going to be covering today. Let's check it out.
Let's get right into it. There's two main modes in Flying Dragon, SD mode and virtual mode. I'll begin with the virtual mode. When you select it, a screen will pop up for you to choose what rule set you want to pick. The only difference between 2D and 3D is you can sidestep in the environment in 3D. I think customize is the way to go. And there you can turn on various options like step, which allows you to sidestep. Additional lets you hit enemies on the ground. Combo turbo lets you string together combos easier, etc. There's standard modes to choose from like circuit, versus, tournament, and practice. I'll show you the controls. You have your typical attacks like punch and kick, stepping in and stepping out, dashing, sidestepping, which is good for avoiding projectiles, guarding, and my personal favorite, super moves. Super moves remind me of special attacks in Super Smash Bros. Circuit is where you spend most of your time in virtual mode. It's your basic arcade mode that you have in most fighting games. As you can see, its gameplay has a resemblance to Street Fighter. The type of inputs you do for attacks is similar to Street Fighter as well. Your goal is to whittle down your opponent's health to zero. There's a bar below your health bar that fills up when you land attacks on your opponent. When it's full, you can do various powerful special attacks, which activate depending on what inputs you used. The opponents can be tough. They seem to be really good at guarding and dodging your strongest attacks. You go through 9 stages to beat Circuit mode. The final boss at stage 9 is always Ryumao. After you beat all 9 stages, the credits roll and you get a grade on your performance afterwards. Now, to get into where the real fun is to be had in this game, SD mode. When you select SD mode, you get to customize the preset options like you did in virtual mode. I recommend starting off in options to set things to how you like them. The difficulty ranges from very easy to very hard. You set the time for as little as 30 seconds or to infinite. You can select up to 3 rounds. Turbo is great. It makes it easier to juggle your opponents with combos. The higher the turbo, the faster the gameplay will be. I'll show you the controls for SD mode because it's a little different than virtual mode. The main differences in SD mode is use up C and right C for treasures, which are items that you use to help you in matches. You also use left C to use powerful special moves called Secret Busters. Power-wise, think of them being like Final Smashes in Super Smash Bros. I recommend going into training mode to get a hang of the controls and get a better grasp of the kind of attacks and combos you can do. While in training mode, you can select command training, which allows you to execute every move a character has, one by one. Items are what really make this game stand out from other fighting games. Going to treasure box mode gives you the opportunity to get more items, or learn more about the items you already have. Under status, you can check the stats for each character. Next to each character's rank, you'll see how powerful their attacks, projectiles, throws, and secret busters are based on the number next to each icon. The higher the number, the more powerful it is. You can also equip the items you see fit for each character. Each character can have a maximum of 4 items on them. There's 4 categories of items you can equip to each character: attack, defense, medicine, and special. 1 slot goes towards attack, 1 goes to defense, and you can use the 2 remaining slots for either medicine or special items, or both. There's a lot of factors that go into deciding what items to give to your character. Not every item is compatible with each character, so that plays a big part in choosing what to equip. I would say the biggest thing to look for is, does the items mesh with the character's playstyle? For example, if a character is really good at throws, you should equip an attack item that boosts your throwing power. I don't really care for the medicine items because they are one-use only disposable items, mostly related to healing your health. The special items vary a lot in what they do. Some of my favorites are the repair kit, which gradually heals your health during matches, and the teleport mantle, which lets you do exactly that, teleport. Beyond the items used for battle, there are items that play a part outside of the fights. Secret tech items, for example, are items that make the game more enjoyable, such as the continuous clock, giving you 10 continues, or the music CD that lets you listen to the awesome music of this game. Scrolls are important because when you unlock them, they give you more secret busters you can use with your characters. Every character has their own type of scroll that is unique to them. Before we head to the circuit, I'll show you the item shop real quick. When you arrive there, I swear the shopkeeper lady says, "Yes, Jonathan?" Like, how do you know my name, lady? It's kinda creepy. Anyways, the items you can buy here are split up into different categories, and as you progress further into the game, the item selection and the shop will become bigger. Alright, now for the mode you spend most of your time in, the circuit mode. Select one of the interesting and unique characters this game has to offer and get ready to enter the tournament. The first thing you'll probably notice is the characters look a lot different than they do in virtual mode. It's like a chibi art style in SD mode. I normally really don't like chibi art styles, but for some reason I like it in this game. It just fits in this game, I guess. The gameplay is really fluid, especially when you turn the turbo up to 3. The pink bar is especially important in SD mode. There's a number next to it, and that number dictates what Secret Busters you can do and how many times you can do them. Some Secret Busters take 1 bar, while others take up to 2. Some items take a power bar to use too, so I don't usually equip those type of activatable items very often. That's really what you want to do, is to build up your power meter because your Secret Busters are the strongest moves you have and they do a lot of damage. What I find really satisfying is trying to juggle my opponents in the air for as long as I can. It's fun trying to figure out different combinations of attacks that make this possible. Stringing together your punches, kicks, and super moves while your opponent gets tossed around in the air like a ragdoll never gets old. The regular tournaments consist of 5 opponents. If you beat everyone, you'll finish in first place. If you only lose to the last opponent, you'll be second. Let me tell you, it's an awful feeling getting all the way to the end just to come up short. If you finish in the top 3, you'll be rewarded with an item. Sometimes it's multiple items. The higher you finish, the greater the items you'll be rewarded with. When your items get enough experience, they can evolve, just like Pokemon. This evolved item will have better stats than the old item that you were using. After your first tournament win, you'll be invited to join the championship tournament. The first time you do it, it's just like the regular tournament, but there are 6 stages instead of 5. The prizes are typically better in the championship tournament as well. After winning this tournament though, that's when things start to change. You'll get challenged by a metal version of Shoryu, telling you he will see you in the next championship tournament. So after winning another regular tournament, you'll be invited once again to join the championship tournament. When you reach stage 6, you'll face this metal piece of evil. I can't stand this guy. Why? Because he's inherently overpowered. That's the thing. There's not just him, but every single character has a metal version of themselves, and they have abilities that are unique to them. Some are way better than others, like Metal Shoryu for example. He's easily one of the hardest metal opponents to face. Basically, every time you hit him, you get frozen in place for a couple seconds, leaving you wide open for a free hit. He hits like a damn truck, so it's next to impossible to win if you don't have someone that could sit back and spam projectiles. Look at this! How the hell am I supposed to beat this? Well, what if I told you that there is a way? As much as it hurt my pride, I had to get this prevention item. Basically, every metal character has an item you can get to seal off their special abilities. The tasks you do to obtain these items are different for each metal character. After finally getting his prevention item and reaching him again, it's time for a rematch Metal Shoryu. Even though he can't freeze you anymore, he still hits like a truck, making the fight hard. After finally beating his broken ass, you get rewarded with a medal. You also get really good items that you can't get anywhere else if you set the difficulty to normal or higher, and 2 rounds against the metal characters. So basically, the cycle repeats of beating one metal character and then another one challenging you afterwards, beating the regular tournament and then the championship tournament with the new metal opponent. If you ever feel like they're impossible to beat, get their one fight lasting prevention item. You keep doing this cycle of the regular tournament and then the championship tournament until you beat the 5th metal character. After that, you have the chance to take on the Ryu Mao tournament. Let me tell you, this particular tournament is a freaking gauntlet. Every single opponent is metal, with their broken abilities and all. And since the opponents are random, you would have no idea who to get prevention items for. Basically, you're going in blind and hoping for the best. After beating 7 metal opponents in a row, you'll face Ryu Mao. He only appears as metal after getting all the other metals first. You have to beat him not once, not twice, but 3 times! And every single time you face him, he has different abilities than before. After after this painful marathon, you will have won the hardest tournament and you will get rewarded with some of the most powerful items in the game. So, is the game over after this? No way! Every character can get 10 medals, which you get by beating every medal character. And there is a amount of items you can collect. To this day, I still haven't got them all, but the collector in me wants to get as many as I can. So if you want to try a fighting game that is different from everything else, look no further than Flying Dragon. Its combination of different genre elements being blended together really does make for a unique experience. There's also a ton of content that can keep you occupied for a long time. It's not a perfect game, but it's a very good one and worth giving a go. This was Ultra Johnny 64. See you next time.